In the last episode we visited the western part of Läsa before I had to turn back to Sweden to fix some broken things, and I also received 2 big boxes of stuff from Watski. In this episode I leave Sweden for good, and the first stop is the Danish holiday paradise Anholt. I had already left Sweden once before, but this time I knew there was no turning back. Watching land disappear behind you and only having the sky and the sea in front of you is a special feeling to me. I'm yet again off from Sweden, so leaving Sweden once more, and this time no return. And it is a fairly early morning today as well, and I wanted to use the wind that we have for this moment, so we're having a sort of closed hole, closed reach, something, and doing about 5 knots. So I'm pretty happy at the moment. The wind will die around lunchtime, so probably gonna have a little bit of sail today with very little wind before the wind starts to turn to south, and then I hope to be as close as possible to the destination of today, that is Anholt in Denmark. Anholt is an island that I have been looking forward to visit so long, so I'm super excited about it. And something else that I'm excited about is that I have my most loyal crew with me once again. So Gunnar has joined. He arrived last night at the boat and he's doing a good job steering. It is only around 40 miles to Anholt, but in this wind we had to calculate with a full day of sailing. When we motored into the port, the wind had dropped and the sky was blue and the sun was shining, completely the opposite from this morning. We could already from a distance see that there was a lot more sailboats out now. We just arrived at Anholt and it's very pretty, and today it's also very calm, but it's going to be super windy tomorrow, so I'm gonna attach my new bungus that I got from Watski to my lines. It was convenient with a solution that could be clipped on afterwards. And then it was time to have a look around. Wow, look at the beach! We quickly realized that Anholt is made for biking, so we took the bikes out and prepared them for a little longer tour. So we found a super cute little restaurant. I'm really happy we left this early in the morning because it took us almost 10 hours to get here, and now it's around 7 and we haven't eaten, so we're super hungry and looking so much forward because this place is supposed to be really good, so we're excited to have some dining out. So we just got the food and it looks really delicious. Fish, and they also import their wines by themselves, so we got a really good white wine. On our way back, the sun was already about to set. We need to change our plans a little bit. We were gonna stay here in Anholt a couple of days, but it's gonna be super windy, blowing 30 knots tonight, and after that it's gonna blow from the wrong direction for us, so we're actually gonna leave later today. So now we are up in the morning and planning to go to the most easterly point of the island to see the lighthouse and hopefully also to have a glimpse of the seals. I think this island has the largest populations of seals in the entire Europe or something, and I love wildlife, so I really hope to get a glimpse of them. But also I think it's going to be a nice tour. We're going to take the bikes out again. But soon the paved road turned to gravel and then to sand. It worked for a while, but then we had to decide to leave the bikes behind and start walking. We could see the lighthouse in the distance, and it took us a little less than an hour to walk there. The old lighthouse and the views were beautiful, but the seals could only be seen from the very distance. This lighthouse here was a part of the war that was going on outside of here. In 1809, the Danish switched off the light here, which caused a British ship to outside of here someplace. The Englishmen took this island to relit the lighthouse, and in 1811, I think, the Danish tried to retake the island, but the Englishman was warned. Then in 1814, when there was peace again, this island yet again became Danish. We had a short break and then it was time for us to head back to Tilda. So we just had a quick lunch and now we're gonna leave before the wind picks up, and hope we find a protected place at the mainland, and also hope that we can reach to go there without tacking, which I do think. So we kind of bet differently on this, but I hope my bet is correct. So we're having a close reach to get clear of a wind park area. We're doing about 6.6 knots with a first reef in the main and a bit of reef in the Grenaa. So good speed and a little less waves this day, so it's perfect sail, and as long as the wind is not picking up more, we are super happy. And we ended up in the port town Grenaa. It was not on our route plan, but it turned out to be a nice experience for a short stopover before we could continue. And this is Grenaa, which is some sculpture of a pig for, I don't really understand why, but I think it's a famous landmark of this town. Thank you Watsky for supporting this episode, and also I want to deeply thank my Patreons for supporting the making of these episodes, and if you want to contribute you can also become a Patreon or buy me a coffee at the links below. If you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss out. And if you appreciated this episode, please give it a big thumbs up.